With all this noise about AI tools for creatives, you don't even know where to look, because it seems like every other day there are some new tools either for image generation or video creation or UI UX creation. So you as a creative are justifiably confused about where to look. But I have a theory that Adobe will win out at the end, and in this video I'm going to explain my thought process behind it. Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to talk about AI and what it means for you as a designer and as a creator. So last year these AI tools start popping into place, and the most prominent of them was the ChatGPT, and now with the ChatGPT 4 there is an image generating capabilities which increases the possibilities of you as a creator and as a designer even more. But you might be confused about these image generation and especially UI UX generation AIs, about how they are going to impact your career and how they are going to impact your design process. Now, one way to look at them is just as a helpful tool in your design process. It's going to help you generate your ideas even faster than before, and it's going to help you bridge that gap between yourself and your clients about sharing ideas about the direction that the design needs to go in. And I think that that's a good thing, because it saves you as a designer a lot of time, and it just lets you focus on what matters, and that's the design process itself. Of course, every part of a design process is equally as important as the next, but if you can get help generating these ideas from AI, why not use it? In terms of AI replacing you fully, it's not going to happen anytime soon, because all of these AI tools are at the beginning of their journey, and with what Adobe does, I think it's going to take them even further. Now, why I think Adobe is going to win out in this AI fight is quite simply Adobe Creative Cloud. Now, if we just take a look about two of the most competitive tools out there, in my opinion, which you can try for free, and of course there are hundreds of thousands of these AI generating tools for designers out there, but in this video we're just going to touch upon Leonardo.ai as well as Midjourney. Now, when it comes to both of these tools, they are incredible, they are amazing, but they come with two major flaws. Flaw number one is licensing. Now, when it comes to licensing, all of these images are taken from one data source called Lion, and this data source is just scraping the internet without a regard to copyright infringement and license usage. It is just scraping images from the internet, and you can see across YouTube and across social media artists who actually generated original ideas behind these images complaining that this data set is taking their images without their consent. What this means is you can possibly get into legal trouble if you are using these tools, and these tools are claiming that they are taking just free images which are under CC0 license in the first place and just delivering them inside of their apps. And the other reason I think they are not going to succeed down in the long run is just compatibility. What I mean by that is, when it comes to Adobe Creative Cloud, you have the full suite of apps, whether you're working with images, with web, with the recent acquisition of Figma by Adobe, or if you're working with video, there is a tool that's going to help you generate assets for your project. Now, when it comes to Midjourney or Leonardo AI, yes, you can generate amazing images here, but you still have to take them to another tool, and that's the problem with especially Midjourney, because they're using Discord, so you have to generate images here on Discord. And yes, if you pay for their monthly fee, you get a separate Discord channel where you could generate these images, but you're still on Discord. Same thing goes for Leonardo AI. They go even further, where you can actually tweak some things here and there. You can actually generate on top of your generations. You can even expand. It's called AI Canvas right here, and you can apply to learn more about Leonardo AI. I'm going to leave the links down in the description below, but basically that's where your creative journey is going to end. Now, when it comes to Adobe, they have their own Adobe Firefly, which is basically built upon their Adobe Sensei AI, which is used for years already inside of their tools such as Photoshop, such as Illustrator, such as Premiere Pro, and so many other tools. They are dabbing into 3D as well inside of video editing, as well as photo generation tools such as Photoshop obviously, and their image generation tool, which is already inside of Photoshop beta, and you can search for YouTube to see how it works. Basically, you can just select the parts of an image you want to generate new ideas or new parts of that image, and you can basically expand it. Video creators are using it, image creators are using it, web creators are using it, so basically it's amazing for everybody, and it's already inside of Adobe Photoshop, which is a tool by itself. So once you're done generating your image, you can actually use it. You can transfer it to other tools such as Adobe Illustrator if you want to enhance your illustration, for example, or something like that. But that's the whole point of this video. I think Adobe will win out at the end because they have the Creative Cloud and they just put the AI feature on top of it. If we scroll right here, you can see that they have the generative fill inside of Adobe Photoshop, they have text effects, and they have text to image right inside of Adobe Firefly, so make sure to apply and to test it out. They have generative recolor, which is amazing. So if you have your illustrations made inside of Adobe Illustrator, for example, then you can recolor them based on new colors that you got from your client just that easily, without disrupting your image, without generating new image, just using existing image that you generated already. They have extending images, they have 3D to image, and so on and so forth. So a lot of these things. But what I think they will win out at the end is because they are creative first in their approach. So basically their whole idea is to enhance your creative process and not destroy it, as some of these other tools might have it in their marketing materials. Then this is what I already mentioned, give creators practical advantages. So AI is going to do those tedious tasks that you don't really want to do in your creative process. And finally, and most importantly, to set the standard for responsibility. And this is something that these tools are not doing. Adobe is doing, and it's doing already with Photoshop for a few years back, especially with with things like NFTs, for example, where you can get the content authenticity and content credentials and provenance to actually prove that you are the generator of this content and that you are a sole creator of this content. So in terms of reselling it later or reusing it in some other project, you have that provenance and you have that proof that you are actually the content creator behind this piece. How this translates to UI and UX design, actually Figma is already working with some Figma AI, and it's going to integrate even deeper. And now, because Adobe is in the process of acquiring Figma, you can pretty much guarantee that this Sensei generative AI Firefly is going to be integrated with the Figma AI, which I can pretty much guarantee is already doing in the background, because they are in the process of transitioning. What this is going to mean for you down the line is, if you create an icon in Adobe Illustrator, for example, you quickly want to recolor it or to get some additional ideas for that particular icon. Maybe the stroke is not thick enough, maybe you want to see how it's going to look like with the color background, maybe, or in some other style like rounded or square or something like that. You can pretty much generate it inside of AI, then transfer it to Creative Cloud libraries into Figma and start using it as a Figma component, for example, throughout your design. So that's the power of Adobe Firefly, and this is just the beginning. For video creators, you are going to pretty much be able to soon add items inside of your videos, such as different backgrounds, such as different props in your videos, and you can see that they are already experimenting with these things inside of Adobe Express, where you can pretty much just write the text and it's going to generate you a flyer or a reel for a social media or something like that. So that's why I think that Adobe will win out at the end when it comes to creatives in this AI space. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to press that like button and to subscribe to the channel. I upload new videos regularly all about design, UI UX design, Figma, and so much more. So if you're interested in content like that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and until next time, take care.